Now, according to local legends, the Gurdon Light, which is located in Gurdon, Arkansas, is supposed to be Will McLean carrying his lantern up and down the tracks searching for his decapitated head. So in today's story, we're going to take a dive into the history of Will McLean, and we're going to find as much information as we can on the Gurdon Light. But before we dive into the story today, I want you to take that like button, and I want you to smash it harder than any like button has ever been smashed before. And then I want you to take that sub button and throw it into the ropes, and whenever it comes back to you from the ropes, I want you to hit it with the most electrifying move that YouTube has ever seen, and I want you to hit it with the rock bottom. In the quiet little town of Gurdon, Arkansas, whispers of an eerie legend has haunted the community for decades. Legend has it that there is a swaying light. Now this light sways from side to side, and it supposedly travels from Prescott, Arkansas to Gurdon, Arkansas. Now local townspeople, all of them have stories of encounters that they have had with the Gurdon Light. It all began one quiet night, December 3rd, 1931. This horrible accident could be heard echoing throughout the entire town. The night was cold and silent, and basically the only thing you could hear echoing through them woods was the eerie sound of the engine chugging on along down the tracks. Nobody in the town had any clue that as soon as that train would round the bend, disaster would strike. The sound of the train derailment could be heard throughout the entire town. Investigations revealed that deliberate tampering with the rails would raise suspicion that a sinister plot had been set in motion. The following day, fear gripped the heart of the town when Will McLean, the section foreman of the Missouri Pacific Railroad, did not return home. His wife, in a frantic, begged and pleaded with the city marshal to please start an investigation. Will was a dedicated worker, and he was known for his committed work ethic. His absence sent shivers down the spine of the little tight-knit community that Gurdon had. Now the marshal was a workaholic, and even though his uniforms was always worn, he was a very professional police officer, so it didn't take him long at all to start his investigation of Will's disappearance. Now suspicions immediately fell upon Louis McBride. Now Louis McBride was a laborer who worked directly underneath Will McLean. Now Louis's demeanor was completely unsettling. His eyes revealed that he had a dark, dark secret. The marshal wasted no time in bringing Louis in for questioning. Underneath the harsh glare and the flickering lights of the interrogation room, Louis crumbled. He completely confessed to the sheriff of a crime so heinous it almost made the sheriff sick to his stomach. The marshal, driven by the urgency of the situation, would follow Louis's directions directly to the crime scene. A trail of blood, stretching almost a quarter of a mile, would lead the sheriff directly to Will's battered and lifeless body. His lantern was still tightly clutched in his hand. The sight was so chilling it would haunt the sheriff for many years to come. McLean's autopsy would reveal a horrifying truth. He suffered 4 brutal blows to the head. Each blow was more vicious than the last. The murder weapon being a bloody spike ball and a shovel, which both were found near McLean's body. McLean fought for his life. His desperate attempts to crawl from the woods, which was the quarter of a mile stretch of blood that the marshal found, was etched in the earth. You could see his fingerprints in the dirt as he was dragging his body along the path. Justice would prevail in the execution of Louis McBride. Louis McBride was executed in the electric chair. Louis McBride was executed July 8, 1932 at the Little Rock Penitentiary. Even though Louis's life ended, the horror was far from over. It wasn't long before residents of Gurdon would start reporting strange occurrences. The mystery light, eerie and unearthly, could be seen wandering the railroad tracks on the same stretch of tracks where the tragedy had unfolded. Brave souls that would approach the light would report that the light would vanish. Legend has it that Will McLean still walks those cursed tracks clutching his lantern. It is said that he walks those tracks as a reminder of the gruesome murder that took his life. Some believe that he seeks justice from beyond the grave. Others believe that he is stuck in an eternal loop of torment. The ghostly light of Will McLean is said to appear, casting a chilling glow on the haunted tracks of Gurdon, a relentless reminder of a horrifying crime that refuses to rest in peace. Now, this picture above me is a real photo of the tracks that run through Gurdon, Arkansas. And I'm going to play a couple of clips from a couple of the town people and share their experience with y'all.
The Gurdon light is a light that travels down the railroad tracks. It comes out of the woods, gets on the tracks back and forth, and has been seen as far as from here to Prescott that I know of.
You just have to come see it. It floats about that high up off the ground, it's a light, white ball of light, about like that. It just floats out there. And the closer you get to it, it may jump off 10, 15 foot, or it may jump a half a mile from you. And I've seen it go up and over your head and come down behind you, go to the side of you. It's spooky.
The light starts coming on and going off, coming on and going off. And it went off when it got about 10 feet from us. The next time we saw the light, it was behind us.
The first time I went down there, there's a carload of us parked at the crossing and walked down there, and I picked up a few rocks, and when they saw the light down there, it kept coming closer and closer. We was standing at the first trestle, and so I hauled off to throw a rock down that way, see if it kept going to continue to advance. And when I did, I fell through the ties of the trestle. So when I fell and disappeared from sight, everybody else took off running back to the car, and I finally extricated my leg from between the ties of the trestle and limped back up there, hoping it skinned my shin, and I was hoping they hadn't totally abandoned me, but they was waiting at the car. So that was my first experience with the light.
You can also find this story on Unsolved Mysteries, Season 7, Episode 9, The Gurdon Light. Well, that's it for today's story. I would like to know y'all's thoughts, so let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Please, I'm not going to beg anymore. Hit the button. If you don't hit the button, Will McLean is going to come for you with his lantern. Hit the button. I'm out.